Hi, this is Tim here. I hope you're doing well. I'm in the mood for another AutoCAD tutorial. So hopefully you've completed 1, 2, and this number 4. We're actually going to go back and do number 3 now. I wasn't really in the mood to do it, but so the plan for this tutorial is we're going to create an orthographic projection of the front, top, and the side, 2D view, and an isometric. I haven't done an isometric in about 20 years, and I'm going to give it a blast, and I'll explain what isometric is all about. So let's give it a lash. Hopefully you have this printed out in front of you, and you have your AutoCAD open. Hopefully I'm not saying SOLIDWORKS too much, that's what I use all the time, but hopefully you have AutoCAD open, and let's give this a go. What we'll do is I'm going to draw the front face first, and I'll imagine that this point here is the origin. Okay, so let's look at this dimension here. It's 5 and it's up 2.5, and what's this thickness is 0.5. Okay, so I'm going to draw a line, and I'm going to go, the first point is 0, 0. And hopefully this, I feel like this is called the dynamic, maybe it's not dynamic track, but let's see if I can find out what this thing is called, how we have a nice angle and we have the length of the line. Make sure everyone has that turned on. No, what is it? So hopefully that's on. If that's not on, send me a message and we'll figure it out. Anyway, this is 5, and then we come up. So I'm making sure, what do I have turned on here? I have the grid, I have the polar tracking turned on, and I have the object snap. So this guy comes up 2.5, and then let's just pan this over here, and then we're going to come over 0.5, and then we're going to come down 2, and then we're going to come over 4, and then we're going to come up 2, and we're going to come over 0.5, and then I'm going to snap. And that's what that looks like if we're looking at that from a front view. Again, I'm going to get rid of this the icon, the origin. We don't need to see it. And I'm going to give myself a new layer called construction 1. Let's try that again. And we'll make it unable to modify layers by another command is active. Okay. Let's try that again. Nice. I'm going to double click on this to make it my current layer. I'm going to get my drop down my draw and get my construction line. And look at this. I'm on the 0 layer, so I click on. Now why is that being a pain? Let's try that again. Can I rename layer? CONST1. I make this yellow. Good lad. Now, so now I have 2 layers. I'm going to click on these 2 guys, and I'm going to move them over to the construction layer. So hopefully you can do that. I'm going to do an offset, and let me think about this for a second. I need to come up maybe 4. I'll move this guy up to there. Lovely job. And I'm going to do an offset. Oh, I don't know. I'm going to try 10. See what this looks like. Too much. Maybe 6, 7. Let's try 7. That'll do. Now, so what I'll do here is I'm going to draw the side view. Now, what does the side view look like? It comes over 2.5 and up 2.5. So this front view is looking in from this direction. The right hand side view is looking in from this direction. And it's a rectangle. And it says that's going to be my first point. And then I see I'm on the wrong layer again. Let's try that. The specify other corner point 2.5, comma 2.5. Lovely. Now what that just did there, it did that in relation to the, what is that called? That's not absolute dimension, that's called relative dimensioning, I think. So that's probably got you confused. So it was relative to my original start point. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a construction. If you've done orthographic projections before, this is a piece of cake. If you've not, this is probably blowing your mind right now. So what I'm trying to do, let me see if I can explain this. I'm trying to create a 2D representation of this 3D object. We have the 2D from the very front, from the very side, and the very top. And you're probably saying to yourself, what about the holes? Relax about the holes for a second. Now, we're going to get ourselves an offset distance of 2.5. Alright? And whenever you have a line here, you're going to have a corresponding line up here. So what does this thing look like if we're a bird flying over the top of it? Let's try and get on the right layer for once. And then I'm also going to put these lines in. If this is blowing your mind, we're going to be doing lots of orthographic projections. You'll be able to look at a 3D object and know where the lines go. It's just practice. You could take a course in drafting in a local community college or a high school or something like that, but or you can try and practice it with me. So hold on a second. Right. What's next? I'm going to put the circle in here, and then I'm going to project those lines over. And if I was smart, I would have made this distance the same as this distance, and I messed that up, but I'll worry about that later. So hold on a second. Let's do this. Let's get another offset of 1.25. All right, and I'm going to draw a line, another line across here. Now, let's go back here. This comes up 1.5. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to draw a line from here up 1.5, and then I'm going to use that end point, that snap, as my where I can locate my circle. And look, I'm getting rid of the line. That's, what did I just do there? Hold on. A bit fast. I click the center. Now what is the radius of this? The radius is, or the D for diameter is 1. And now I'll get rid of that line. It's done its job. And I'm going to go to construction. And what am I doing? I'm projecting the 12 o'clock and the 6 o'clock, the extents of the circle, over to the other side. Now, okay, I'm going to just turn this off really quickly. And we have a circle. Now, is this right here? Ah, yeah, very good. See, this line is wrong. Now, let's get back to that in a second. We know that this circle goes through both of these pillars or columns or whatever the hell they're called. Whenever we want to show something that's inside of an object or behind an object, we use hidden lines, we use dashed lines. We're viewing this shape from the right hand side, and you don't see any line there. You know, there's no line there. But we need to indicate that this thing is not completely solid, that there's a big cutout. How do we do it? We need we need a line here anyway. It's not going to be a solid line, it's going to be a hidden line. I'll show that now in a second. Whenever you have a line, This line has a cousin over here, which is this line. This line has a cousin. Every point in every line should have a corresponding line in the other views. So I'm going to do layer properties, new layer, hidden. My line type is not continuous. I have to load one, and the line type I'm going to use is something called hidden. It's there. And like while I'm at it, I'm going to create another layer called center line, just center. And I'm going to go load. I'm going to double click on hidden because I want to use it now. I click this line will be a hidden line. Now I need to indicate on this view that there is a hole and it goes all the way through that column and all the way through that column. I click on the construction layer and now I have these lines, these guidelines. And I'm going to go from that point to there and that point to there and this point to there and this point to there. Okay. I also need a center line here, a construction line. Oh yeah, and look how it hits that. If you're having trouble tracking that midpoint, I want you to hit this little drop down arrow and make sure this is checked. Alright, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to offset this line 0.5 up and 0.5 down, and we're going to do the same here. We'd have hidden lines. So I'm just putting those in. I'm hitting the escape key an awful lot. Click, escape, line, click, click. What am I using? The right, the left mouse button. Right, I'm going to turn off the construction line, and this is what I have. Now, I'm going to go to annotate, and whenever you have a circle, you're going to stick in the center mark. Look at that, beautiful. Whenever you have a hole going through there, we're going to have a center line. Let's see if we can do that. There we go. And I'm going to do the same again. Come on, there you go. And I'm going to, let's see, I'm going to pull him, I'm going to grab the end of it. Can I do this? Oh, look at this, fancy. We'll do the same here. Lovely. Okay. What is this called? Can you remember? It's called an orthographic projection. What we're going to do now, let me just let me do one thing at a time. Let me put some dimensions on this, and then let's see if we can have fun with an isometric just for shits and giggles. Now, layer properties. I'll have a new layer. I'm going to call this dimen. I'm going to make the line type continuous. I'm going to make the color cyan, and I'm going to double click on it, and I'm going to get a dimension. Yeah, there you go. 2.5, 5 there. What else are we missing here? 2.5. We're going to need this line here. 2.5. I'm going to get the circle. Beautiful. And then I need a distance from there down to the bottom. Let's delete that. Ah, shite. Let's try that again. From there, come on now, to there. Right pane. I'm missing some. What am I doing wrong here? I need to go to the center. That's what it is. I keep on thinking I'm using SolidWorks. I go to the center of the circle, then to there, and this is an aligned dimension. I move this around. Come on, get the 1.5. And what else am I missing? You know, if you want to be anal, you can get this in as well. 1.25, that would be kind of obvious. What else are we missing? Yeah, we're missing one thing. We're missing from there to there. Lovely. Right, I'm going to change the precision again. Annotation, dimension style, modify, primary units, and let's change this to be 2 digits of precision. Let's see if I can say it. Alright, now easy. Anyone, you should have no trouble with that. This is where you can laugh at me a little bit. I'm going to try and do this isometric drawing. Okay, let me see if I can explain the difference. Isometric is it's a 3D representation on a 2D piece of paper. I'm going to draw this shape here, but you're not going to be able to like rotate it and orbit around it. It's essentially a representation. It's a kind of a pictorial of a 3D pictorial on a 2D piece of paper. You're going to see it's going to look just like this, but you're not going to be able to revolve it or rotate it in 3D space. We will get to that. There's no harm in learning a little bit of isometric. We all had to, well, if you're over 30 years old, you had to learn isometric, and there's nothing wrong with it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to draw the isometric over here, and let's see, I'm just going to save my work here before I make a balls of this. So, where do I start? I need to turn on an isometric snap. Now this is polar tracking, isometric drafting, isodraft, isoplane right, isoplane top. Oh, this is going to blow my head. This looks kind of right to me though. Weird. Alright. If I draw a line, if I start here, I feel like I need a snap though. I'm going to turn on, let's turn on snap. Unknown command, SNAP, and I'm going to make this 0.25. I'm going to draw a line from there. Oh, look at this, lovely, 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 come on. And let's get in the right layer, 0. And I'm going to draw a line here, and I'm going to come out. Is that the right angle? I need to be at 30 degrees for isometric. Now that's 2.5. How can I explain isometric better? Have you ever tried to draw something in 3D and instinctively you know to kind of draw it at an angle? That angle, that isometric angle, is 30 degrees. That's still a pretty shit explanation. 2.5. Let's go up here 5. So what's the important thing? I'm after trying this isoplane top, and I think it's going to work. And then I'm going to come over. Now what else am I using though? I'm using the snap, and I'm going to complete this to there. Okay. So we got that. Now I have to come up straight. That should be a pain. So I might have to change this then. Stop. I feel like I need to change this. Oh my. Okay. And then how much do we need to come up? We need to come up 2.5. 1. Oh, weird. 2.5. Lovely. And then I come over 2.5. And I come down. It's kind of like drawing the 3D box. And I'm going to do the same here. 2.5. Like, this is good practice. We all had to do this. And then I'm going to come down here 0.5 and kind of box. I don't know what to say to you. 0.5. Come down. 2. Come over. Yeah, like the snap and the snap and that ISO draft is making this a lot easier. So I'm going to start here and I go down. I'm going the same 30-degree angle. I'm going to come over. Lovely. I come down 2 point. I'm getting confused now. Let's just do this bit. 2.5 to there. It's looking good. See, this line is weird. If I get rid of that line there, and I maybe get rid of this line, and I'll get rid of this line, as you wouldn't see it really. How deep does that come down? It comes down 2 inches. That comes down 2 inches. So if I go down here 2 inches, come on now. Stop being a pain. There we go. And then I come over. Oh, look at that, lovely. You're going to have a lot of, if you've never done this before, you're going to have you're going to have issue. Let's try that again. Now, you know what's happening here? I need to turn off this snap F3. Oh, look at that! I'm hitting F3 right now, and it's turning it off and on really quick. There we go. I wish that was it, but the next thing now is I've got to draw these circles in. And I'm going to get the location of the circle. It's up 1.5 from the bottom. And I'm going to come here. I'm going to go 0.75, 1.5. And then no, that's not right. Let me just get rid of that line there. I need to come over 1.25 and then up 1.5. So from there, 1.25, and then I come up. There we go. This point here is the man. Now, let me think here. Now, I remember in order to put in, if we look at this, that does not look like a circle. That is actually, it's closer to an ellipse. The command that we use is ISO circle. That used to be the command. No, not anymore. ISO, what do we use now? ISO lines. Isometric view, isometric draft, isometric. I used to be ISO circle. Okay, what about ellipse? If I use ellipse, specify center of ellipse. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to hit F1 to get that help up. I'm going to type in isometric circle. Oh yeah. The ISO circle option is available only when an isometric drawing plane is active. Choose which ISO plane orientation, blah blah blah, type in ellipse, at the prompt enter I for ISO circle. Okay, so this, I know that I'm on the wrong plane. I need to be, you can see the way the cursor is. Do you see the red line? That's going the wrong way. It needs to be going in this direction. And I know that just from experience, I probably did an awful lot of this. Now, there we go, a long time ago. Now we're in the right plane, or the right orientation. I'm going to click on ellipse. I'm going to type in I, invalid point. Huh. There we go. I'm after clicking elliptical arc. What about this one? Yeah, an access end. Don't ask me why this works. Now I can click ISO circle. It's there. So I click I for ISO circle. Specify center of ISO circle. And now it's starting to, now it looks correct. What's the radius? It's 0.5. Radius of isocircle, 0.5. Look at that. Now, you're going to have to make me think. I think that looks right. So, we have a very, I'll get back to that, don't worry. We have a nice orthographic projection. What's this guy called? This is called an isometric projection. This drafters learned how to do this in a big way before AutoCAD. This is not a true three-dimensional object. If I rotate this, this is, what do I need to hold down? If I hold down the Alt key, no, the Shift key, look at this. I'm holding down the Shift key and I'm rotating in 3D space. And look what our three-dimensional object looks like if I rotate. You see? It's just 2D. Now I'm going to click on front here to get back. Oh, that sucked. I'm going to click on here to go top. There we go. Now, how do I get a circle on that face? From here to here is 1.5. So from here up would be 1. So I'm going to draw a line from there over 1. No, I go 1.25 and then I come up 1. And that point is our man. I'm going to click this guy. I'm going to press Control C and Control V. Now it would be nice if I could, oh, this isn't too bad. Is that right? Oh, that works. Yeah. So let me just show you that again. You could do the whole thing again with the ISO circle. I'm going to copy and paste this. I'll click on it. I hit Control C, Control V, and I just put it there. And then I click on it again. I grab the center and move that over. I'm going to delete this line and delete that line. We have the two circles. Now it looks like we need to see that there's the other side of the circle. So believe it or not, we got to come down in 0.5 in this direction and in 0.5 in that direction, and then copy and paste it again, and then trim. Right? We don't do things half measures. I'm going to click. I'm in the wrong ISO plane. I'm going to click on this one. I want to be going in this direction. I click line. See, I don't know why the right center now. I should have left those lines there. Leave them alone. Leave them there. I'm after pressing Control Z to undo. And now I get the line, and I'm going to, well, you can see there, I can snap to it. And I need to come over 0.5 in that direction. Now I have this F3 turned off, that object snap. It's not a whole lot of use. Now I'm going to come over at 30 degrees, 0.5, and this point and this point are the important points. I go down to isoplane right again. I'm going to click this, Control C, one there, Control V, one there. It's funny when you haven't done this in a long time, you still remember it. Okay, here we go. Right, what do we need to delete now? I get rid of that line. 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 I click trim. I press enter to select all. Bang, bang. 1, 2. Look at that. That's not too bad. Okay. Whenever you do an engineering drawing, or I don't know, isometric or architectural, especially whenever you do an engineering drawing, you typically have your 3 front, top, and side. And we like to have a 3-dimensional or an isometric or a pictorial because it helps us visualize what is going on. Now I'm going to turn off, there we go, now we're back to orthographic or straight line instead of isometric. We have these three views, and we have this guy. I'm going to save my work. What is it? It's lesson. This is lesson 4. And I'm going to go to layout, and I don't have my title block anymore. I gotta show you guys how to create a template. We'll do that later. So model is where all the action is. Layout is when we're done with the three views and the isometric or whatever. It's ready to start plotting. We want to print this out. We want to put it on the refrigerator, whatever. We want to send it to the company and get paid. I'm going to turn on rectangle. And why is our snap working here again? Snap. Let's do 0.25. Right, we have a snap on. The snap is not going to turn on until we actually have to draw something. So I'm going to snap to this corner here, and I'm going to drag this over to here. And let's see if we can come up with a better title block. I'm going to come 0.5. What's that? That's 2. Is that 1 inch? Let's drag this all the way across. That's a bit big. And I'll that's boring. I want to do the viewports, and then we'll finish up the title block. And we could create a layer for the title block. Title. And what I'm going to do, instead of it being black, I'm going to make that gray. And I'm going to highlight all of this. I'm going to put that on title. Okay. I'm going to go back to the 0 layer, and I'm going to go to layout, rectangular. I'm going to create, that's going to be one viewport. This will make sense in a second. I'm going to create another viewport up there. You're saying, oh, I know what you're saying to yourself, but hold on. I'm going to double click on this, take it into model space. I'm just going to zoom in here. It kind of sucks. Alright. I don't remember them being two 2.5s there anyway, but no, they're different. I'll click on model to get out of this. I'm going to have to make him a little bit bigger. Okay. And I don't like that line scale is not correct. It's not quite correct there either. So I have my 3 views here. How many viewports do I have? I have 2 of them. This is a viewport, and this is a viewport. I'm going to double click on this viewport. Let's go back to paper. I'll double click in here, and I'm just going to put him there like that. And I'm going to click the model to get out of it. Now you remember that, hopefully you remember that these grids will go away. I need to be able to turn off the view. Now if I right click there, can I hide it? I can't erase. I know if I erase it, the whole thing is gonna go. Don't worry, I have a backup plan. Display viewport objects. Nope, that's not good. Shade plot. I like that. This is. I'm thinking. Right, well this is my old school way of getting. I want to get rid of this box here. We don't need to see these boxes. I'm going to go to home. I'm going to go to layer. I'm going to right click. I'm going to create a new layer called Viewports. Alright? And I'm going to copy this line, that rectangle, onto Viewports. And I'm going to copy this. I select it, and then click on Viewports. And do you have any idea what I'm going to do now? I'm going to turn off the light bulb, and that just turns off the visibility. Okay, I wish I could turn off the grid on the paper space. I'm going to hit F1, grid, paper, space. Grid, paper. If I type, I know we've tried this before. If I type in grid and I type in off, it does nothing. If I regen, do I need to do that? Regenerate it? Nothing. When we print this, it's not going to come up. I need to figure that out. I have two viewports now, and I can double click in one and get into it if I have to. I'm going to double click on this one actually. No, I'm not. I'm going to make this guy a bit bigger. See, I have to turn on the viewports now to see it. Okay. So the last thing I want to do is what can I do here? I need to improve this title block. I'm going to go text, and I'm going to go right. What is this? This is AutoCAD lesson 4. I'm going to Control A to select all of it. I'm going to make this 0.3. It's a bit big. Let's make this 0.25. Lovely. That's good. Do you want to save your text changes? Yes. Now I click here. I'll get this. Now I have a feeling it's this snap that's causing the problems. It's time to turn off the snap. Snap off. And now it should move a little bit better. There you go. AutoCAD lesson 4. I'll draw a line. Yeah, but see, I need the snap back now. This is a pain. Let's get that. Alright, snap off. Do you know, I'm going to press Control C, Control V. Control V. Control V. Alright. That's a bit lame looking. Look, it's a start anyway. What are we going to do here? I'll come up with a better title block one of these days. Right, is that it? What do I don't know, this just does not look right. If we highlight all of that, can I center it? It's still not great. You could experiment with different fonts. It's still looking a bit rough. Anyway, look, I'm going to save that. And let's go to print. AutoCAD brother. Extents. Center the plot. Fit to paper. Preview. So look, it's not too bad. Title block sucks though. I'm not happy with it. We have the 3 orthographic projections. We have the one isometric, which was a bit of a pain, but look, it's good practice. That's it. Look, what's next? We're going to move on. We'll just kind of go over some of the stuff here. This is nothing crazy. You should be able to do this. I'm going to do this in the next video, and then when we get to here, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to create the three orthographics, and maybe even do an isometric, and then we'll just do some orthographic projections, and then just keep on going. Okay, so I hope you're getting something good out of this, and keep on plugging away.